Okay.
Yeah, we'll start.
So
We started the.
is live streaming on?
Now the streaming started.
Okay. See the applied linguistics itself is application of language studies. We study language in a variety of ways, various aspects of language, particularly when we study intricacies of sounds, words, and sentences, and move on to study discourse and communication. Study of language interacts with various domains like society and machines in particular. And applied linguistics is in particular applications of what we synthesize or generalize as part of the study of language to problem solving. So whatever issues that we face interfacing language, and we can use solutions based in language, solutions from language, all those efforts are called applied linguistics. And when it comes to engineering, in particular, like domains like information technology, computer science, speech synthesis, speech processing, all these fields and many more are artificial intelligence, intelligent machine design. All these fields require our understanding from knowledge. Got it? Could you hear me, Karthika?
Yes, sir.
Something was mute. Somebody is writing your mic is mute or something. No, but my mic is not mute. Okay. So that is roughly the answer to that question. If it is not quite answering your question, Dr. Tiwari, you can send your question again, and which part of it is not clear, we will try to clarify it again. Do we have other questions, Karthika?
No, sir. At this point, we don't have from the live chat.
Okay. Look at the live chat if there is anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at the live chat. So far, we have just one question.
Okay. That's okay. So while you are looking at other questions, I would just say a few things in general. So this was a good question, which allows us an opportunity to talk about significance of applied linguistics and what it is. So again, in short, applications towards solving problems located in language is applied linguistics. But the solutions to the problems do not come from vacuum. They come from the study of language. And various domains like sociolinguistics, historical linguistics, and the core areas of phonetics, phonology, morphology, and syntax, such things enable us to take up challenges rooted in language. And in particular, when it comes to language learning and language acquisition, it has a lot of implication for learning a new language or dealing with some of the problems which are pathological in nature. This is what we do with applied linguistics. This is how we study a language from this part. One more point which is crucial to make is Applied linguistics is not simply a branch of linguistics. Rather, it won't be wrong if we say it's mother of all branches. All other branches are part of applied linguistics because all other branches contribute to what our knowledge that comes from linguistics can do to solve problems located in language. Anything else? No?
Sir, I'll read out few questions from the sheet that
Okay, go ahead.
Lovely Ray has written, how an individual can continue to use um, his external environment to maximum as a learning resource to nurture his innate potential of language formation. Shall I repeat that again?
Yeah, say it again, please.
How an individual can continue to use his external environment to the maximum as a learning resource to nurture his innate potential of language formation.
See, I think it's related to, this question is related to language as innate capacity or innateness aspect of language. To maximize innate potential, if it is based in cognition, then we need to talk about several other things. But if it is based on, if this question is predicated on special purpose cognition where language comes in, then we don't need to do much to maximize potential. And the immediate environment govern our process of learning in such a way that it will automatically adjust itself according to, that is, it will automatically influence innate capacity according to the environment, immediate environment. So individual, as a learner or as a linguist, we don't need to do much for exploiting innate aspect of language. That is already given. If I can extend this question in the context of applied linguistics, then understanding the differences and nuances of language, in language, second language, foreign language, what else? Is there anything else?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Could you please talk about web semantics and ontology development?
This is, what is that? Web semantics.
Yes, sir.
What is that supposed to mean? Web semantics?
I'm not sure. It's maybe I'll
not
put this in the discussion forum and ask the person who has posted, Harshada, to explain it.
What's the name?
Harshada. Harshada.
Harshada. Yeah, please ask them to explain what they mean by web semantics and what was the other? Ontology.
Yes, ontology development.
Okay.
Okay.
We haven't discussed these things in this course.
Yes, I see that.
It is, but somebody needs to read on these concepts of ontology and whatever web semantics means. I think it is, in general, the process of meaning making which is broadly speaking semantics. I don't know what else this web semantics is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas Paul has asked, sir, whether previous year question papers can be made available. Want to know question paper model.
No, Paul, we don't have a question bank ready. We don't make question papers from last year available because that's with the program office. We don't do anything with the questions. What I can say is if you go through the content of the course and you familiarize yourself with these ideas and notions, then whatever format we use to ask you a question to fulfill the requirements of exams, you should be able to answer all the questions. I am telling you this thing on record. The larger purpose of a course like this is to familiarize yourself with the nuances of language and not worry too much about the questions in the exam. Nonetheless, we understand exams are important and exam questions are important. So we use the format of sometimes a mixed format, sometimes only multiple choice, and so on. So we can't tell you much about the format. Also, we can have short answer type of questions, or we can have multiple choice, or we can have long answer type. The actual answer to all these questions is if you focus on the content of the course, all kinds of questions are simpler. Next.
What is the difference between applied and non-applied linguistics?
Like I said in the beginning, there is nothing called non-applied linguistics. There are other areas of language study, which is specifically, for example, phonetics. That studies the mechanism of sounds, speech sounds. Semantics studies the process of meaning making. And syntax studies the intricate and abstract principles of structure of language. All these things together combined constitute our study, what we call study of language. And when that is put to solving problems related to language, that is called applied linguistics. So that's the difference between other areas of language study and applied linguistics. There is, we can't put it in terms of applied and non-applied linguistics. Hope this helps.
Okay. Abdul has asked, dear professor, thank you for the wonderful course. I'm enjoying it. I'd like to know what linguists say about the working principle of language acquisition device.
Work principles underlying language acquisition device, different linguists don't have much to say. The fundamental principle of language acquisition device is it was proposed between 1957 to 1965, and a lot of work is available on these subjects and these aspects in the generative paradigm of the study of language. And it simply means that it refers to a particular capacity, which is capacity to acquire language automatically from immediate environment without us being aware of the underlying principles of language. That's the process of language acquisition in generative paradigm. And it simply means that we are all equipped to acquire a language from our immediate society. And we are all equipped to equipped to learn and speak a language for sure. And the fact language learning is not a matter of choice, neither the language that we end up learning is a matter of choice. They all follow from the fundamental principles of language acquisition device and its functioning and what it contains, like universal grammar and principles and parameters and so on. So we have these things discussed in the course at quite length. Please look at those aspects and do let us know again if there is something that we are missing from here.
Another question is, please explain the relationship between phonetics and word formation.
Phonetics is simply the study of sounds, like the mechanism of the speech sounds, like in terms of places of articulations or places of manners of articulations. And there are more abstract features of sounds. We study about those things in phonology, but formation of sound is part of morphology, and the connection between these is very simple. All languages have a very limited number of sounds. All languages share sounds with each other, in the sense that there is no language in the world which doesn't have common sounds with other languages. And finally, it also helps us understand constraints on formation of words. For example, we have 50 sounds, but we can have infinite number of words produced from these finite set of sounds. But at the same time, there are several constraints on the formation of words which won't allow certain kinds of words to be formed. Certain kinds of sounds produce, certain kinds of sounds come together. These are the things that we study while studying the process of sound formation. I can give you one example, like two sounds from the same place of articulation, like let's say lips, pa and ba. You won't see a cluster of pa and ba in the beginning of a word. That is simply because of the constraint in producing two sounds from the same place of articulations simultaneously. So these are the things we learn from study of these are the things that overlap between phonetics and
Shall I go to the next question, sir?
process of sound. No, just a moment. Phonetics and word formation process. Yeah, go ahead with the next
one. Professor Sharid has asked, sir, I also teach in an engineering college in Mumbai affiliated to Mumbai University, but I'm not happy with the syllabus. What can I do to make my teaching interesting?
So, Professor Sarad, I'm not sure if you are asking questions about our syllabus or your syllabus, and the syllabus of what? I'm assuming you are talking about syllabus of language teaching. Can you please clarify? Because if you're teaching engineering courses, then you have different kinds of things to do. And if you're teaching a language course or a linguistics course, then you have different kinds of things that you can do to make your course interesting. So if you let us know what you teach, then I can tell you a few things. But in general, what I can say is there is no miracle in making it. It falls in the area of language teaching, and that itself, that is also a big part of applied linguistics. And I can say a few generic things, nothing earth-shaking. The crux of making your class interesting is to make the participants of your class comfortable in the class. in terms of our body language, in terms of our language, in terms of their expectations, in terms of our expectations from them. We need to work in a collaborative environment, and creating such collaborative environment in applying language skills as well is the teacher owes this to the class. So that's the first thing that you need to, well, anybody, not just you, anybody, and all of us need to do. The second part is we can talk about anything in the class, but it has to remain connected with the content of the class. We can't give a sense of waste of time in the class. Then no matter what you do, your content or syllabus doesn't remain interesting. Third, and the last, I mean, there is a huge list of things that I can talk about, but third in this row is your content must be comprehensible to your participants. Many of us make this mistake that we lose our audience. A classroom as a space is not, it's my firm understanding, and I don't want to say belief, it's my firm understanding, and that I have found in my classes is it's not a space for demonstrating your research skills or your scholarship. For that, you need conversation, or a different kind of conversation with your colleagues, with your contemporary people. A classroom is a space where a teacher owes it to the students that we make them feel whatever we are discussing in the class is worth their time, and they are learning a thing or two in a participatory way, in a comfortable situation, with a lower cognitive load on the language. This much itself will make a class accessible to your participants, and probably you will not lose them. There could be specific techniques, but then we will need to go into the details of that. Your question was very simple. To make it interesting, we don't have to use songs and dance in classes to make it interesting. To tell you the truth, even those things don't make a class interesting or grab attention of the participants of your class. In that, they need to be challenged. They need to feel that they are learning, but in a very gentle, if not affectionate, in a gentle manner and use of language. You as a teacher, your goal must be you don't lose your audience in the class, and you must be available to everybody. And everybody, there is a very simple policy which we need to acquire and implement. It is no one should be in the class. Then it will work. This is no miracle. These are age-old things, and I have experienced these things, but I don't claim that these are my discoveries. People may vary in terms of these things, and finally, there is no reason for anybody to be angry in the class, to be frustrated in the class. We are professional people. A classroom is a professional space, and there is no reason for other sorts of emotions in the class. So basically, I hope you get the gist of it. We will move forward. But I must tell you, this is an important question, because this connects to one of the very significant topic in applied linguistics, which is known as language teaching, or teaching in general. Next, Karthika.
Yes. So you did not teach in detail the production of vowels. Will you engage one?
We haven't gone through in that detail, too many details, because we just wanted to give you a few examples of cardinal sounds, of vowels, and Along the same line, what I was saying, it should leave some challenge and curiosity for you, and then you can do this thing on your own. That is the method used in this class, because if you are going to discuss everything, then it doesn't remain challenging for students to figure out things. But I take your concern that probably for a class online, we need to do a little bit more. We'll take it up that way. But I'm sharing my understanding with you why we have not given all the descriptions of all the classifications of vowel sounds in this class. Do we have more?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tajuddin Nadaf has asked, what's the role of linguistics in literature?
Who, I'm sorry, who has asked?
Tajuddin Nadaf.
Okay. Role of linguistics in literature is a very broad question in nature. If you can make it a little more specific, I can talk about that. But in the same broad fashion, I can tell you, language is one of the most significant content, not only for literature, but for any domain of learning in terms of construction of knowledge and transmission of knowledge to other people. So, and it works as a powerful medium for dissemination. So whether we are teaching literature or teaching anything else, we do this mediation through language, and therefore understanding nuances of language is important for any kind of teaching. Now, to be specific about literature, it works both ways. Use of literature makes you aware, reading of literature makes you aware of the language use, and understanding about nuances of language helps you identify those techniques of language use. So as a teacher, study of literature, just literary pieces, even a piece of newspaper or a piece of research paper or writing or a novel or a piece of poetry, these things are going to have serious impact on your language. And in a specific domains in applied linguistics, the domains as metaphors, translation, mixing of language, that is code mixing and code switching. All these things, you get data from literature, and you also can see shifting trends in literary study through the use of language as well. So again, once again, to summarize, if I understand a little bit more in terms of your question being specific, I can talk. But broadly speaking, language is a medium for not just communication, but construction and dissemination of knowledge. And it will be it will not be nice to ignore the questions of language, not just in literature, but in the domains of teaching, any in particular, in general. Next.
What is phonology? How is it different from phonetics?
Phonology is study of abstract features of sounds, like whether a sound is sonorant or not, whether a sound is voiced or not, whether a sound it has some suprasegmental features. Also, it's not just that. It's also about study of lot of comprehension comes in that. For example, when we talk about phonetics, we are largely talking about articulatory phonetics or auditory phonetics. In terms of phonology, we have to look at what's a possible sequence, what is not, and why, and how do we form a syllable? What's the role of a syllable? Then how does syllable get stressed or remain unstressed, and several other suprasegmental features like rhyme, pitch, rhythm, and so on. They are all parts of the study of abstract features of sounds, which is known as phonology, and phonetics is merely mechanism of production of sounds, that is, speech sounds. Next.
I have done my MA in English literature, but I find linguistics more interesting. What can I do to improve my knowledge of linguistics?
That is for you to do. There is nothing much that we can do in that. If you find what you mean by when you say you find linguistics interesting, I understand it in the following way. You like studying about nuances of language, which is mathematical in nature, which is structured. So probably your interest is in finding patterns and its applications. So that's the abstract representation of. I'm sorry. That's the translation of being interested in linguistics. And to do more, you can follow few of our courses online, or if you want, you can read some fundamental books. Introduction to linguistics or other areas of language studies, or ultimately you can join a program in a master's program in linguistics in any place that interests you or that is accessible to you, and do a systematic degree from a professional institute. So you can do a few things on your own as part of your interest. You can do a degree in linguistics, and studying linguistics is easy. Your knowledge of English literature or your degree in English literature will not stop you from studying or pursuing your further interest in language studies. Next. Do you have more?
So that's all for. No, sir. That's all for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there people online live?
6 of them, sir.
Please check the live stream if there are questions from the live stream.
Yeah, I'm checking the live stream, sir.
Oh, you're checking the live
I've been
stream.
taking from the live stream.
Okay. So, guys, with that, we would, if there aren't more questions, what we want you to know that we are thankful to our tech team and the office which organizes these sessions, and they are making these things available to you. Please make use of these resources of online portal and live sessions. And we wish to promise you that we are not too far away from you, even in an online course. We are always accessible, and a huge number of people in different capacities work to bring these live streams, live sessions, and portal questions, and all kinds of materials to you. So though we don't meet with them in person or we don't see them, they are always hanging around, and they are always willing to do these things. Please make use of these resources, and do write to us if you have more questions where we can help. We take your questions, your comments, your concerns, your difficulties very seriously, and we try to work on them. We are not we are not just back end. We work on these things. So what I am trying to say, that we are with you throughout the course. When you are doing that, we keep looking at what you are doing. We keep looking at your progress in terms of assignments and questions, the questions that you post. And we are happy if we see you moving further, making a progress, and taking this course in a systematic way. So please feel free, and I'm sure many of you know already what I am talking about, but nonetheless, just wanted to remind you about that. Please make use of the resources that are available at your disposal. We are always with you. Do write to us. And with that, thanks for coming online to join this live session. Very soon, once again, we will definitely meet with you during this course before it comes to an end. Very nice.
Sir,
Yeah.
there's one question.
Okay.
Thomas Paul has asked any other online course other than this course.
So this time also we are. I think he wants to know any other course in linguistics about
Yes.
language studies. There are several courses which we run every semester. There is at least one course that I know which is running. It is called Fundamental Concepts in Sociolinguistics. Please look at the content of those courses also. Even if you are not enrolled, maybe this is late to get yourself enrolled in this course, but probably those content will be available to you. Do feel free to look at that content as well. And if there aren't courses operating in a systematic way as a course this time, there should be all materials available, but there will be another course. We don't exactly know which one. There will be another course next semester as well. So please check the NPTEL SWAYAM portal, and it will give you a list of courses on language available and which one of them we are running. So there, you can take it slow, but there are a lot of materials, a lot of courses available for enriching your understanding about the study of language.
Lovely Mandal has left a comment. All the responses were extremely helpful. Thank you, sir, and NPTEL team. Professor Sharid has asked, what are the other courses in linguistics? So which you have replied. Yeah.
Just responded to that. And if you want to know more about this, please do leave a comment. Leave a question in the portal. We will respond to that, or you can write to the support team. They will let you know what is coming up next in the next semester, so that you will be prepared ahead of time with those questions. That information.
Tajuddin has asked, can I attend exam if I haven't done 4 assignments?
That you have to ask with the
Admin. Yes.
Admin team, please. I don't have. We can, if you leave a question in the forum, we can find an answer to this and inform you about that. But much easier is to write an email to the support team. They will let you know, because we don't know the consequences of missing 4 assignments for your final grade. That all?
Yeah, that's all, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you all. Thank you, everybody, for joining the session. We close with this, and see you next time. So, Karthika?
Yes, sir.
We can close that. Ravichandran, let us close this thing. Can you inform him? He will close this.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.